Hello there, my Aquarian collective Sun and Rising Venus signs. I'm going to do a me, them, us reading for you. I know you're the second to last to go because I do them in alphabetical order, so I hope you've been watching your other signs, right? You've got Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs to look at. This is really an extrapolation of a reading I do for myself in terms of relationship, right? Like me, him, us, right? Very, very simple. But the guides showed me how to expand it for this reading. And keep in mind that the them can be any person, place, or thing. So, you know, if you have an idea of who the them is in this, that's great, but let's see who unfolds. And by the way, if it doesn't resonate, this might not be your reading. I really ask that people, you know, when I do the prayers and the blessings of the deck before this, that it be truly helpful, right? It be the best that it can be, so that the right people find the video, you know. So if you're one of my subscribers, thank you so much for subscribing. I've got some new stuff coming out as soon as I finish this. Going to do Aquarius and then Pisces, these us, me, thems. But then I'm going to start talking about true lovers, and there's a true lover spread that they are developing in me, but it might not be sign by sign. It might just be general overall in the collective, the entire collective. About I'm not sure if I'm doing divine yin, divine yang, masculine, feminine, any of that yet. That's still formulating, but it's going to be good. I can feel it. So, and what true lovers are compared to twin flames and soulmates. Just whatever. We'll get there. So let's focus on you. Enough about me. Let's talk about you. And if you're new to my channel, please like and subscribe. I'm trying to be as informative, helpful, and entertaining as I can be because that's how I'm built. Let's dive, please. The first line that we build horizontally will be for you, Aquarian collective. The second will be for the them. The third will be for the us. We're actually going to build them vertically, deck by deck. The 5 decks that I'm reading are in the description box below. I really update my description boxes regularly so that they reflect where I am in my own process, what I'm working with, what I have available. Like, for example, I just added a PayPal me. So if you want to PayPal me, that cute, good marketing. Yeah, you don't need a PayPal account anymore to do that. You can just go to the link. It's already set up for me, so you don't even have to know my email, or it's drawingthecircle@gmail.com, because I'm the president of Drawing the Circle Productions for 21 plus years. 21 plus, my grandmother used to say that. How old are you? 21 plus. I'm 21 plus. Let's do this. My collective pantheon of angels, gods, and masters, please. What is the dominant archetype for this Aquarian collective? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. In the remainder of September 2019 in this relationship. Well, the advocate, really one of my favorite archetypes, the one that comes and goes for me, but essentially about giving voices to those who do not have a voice, right? In the light, we'll read all of these Caroline Myss archetype cards once all 3 are out. Because my pantheon, same thing for the them, the other in this Aquarian relationship, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign in this relationship for the remainder of September 2019. The judge, the advocate, and the judge. The judge is part of the wisdom family, the advocate part of the action family. So together, those two can really do a lot of good together. These spreads, these us, me, thems, are not necessarily all about romance and sexuality and all of that. I mean, I can do spreads just for that too, but you got to kind of feel how this one fits. I'm reading an entire collective, right? So feel that one out. Remember, this might the judge might be a thing, right? That you're dealing with some sort of legal or judgment issue, balance within yourself. But I'm finding from the feedback I'm getting from people, these in the majority are about relationships between 2 incarnate beings, meaning 2 people. So please, my pantheon, same thing. But for the overall, please give us the dominant archetype overall, the soul powers being alchemized from lead to gold for this Aquarian collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign for the remainder of September 2019. This one. Oh, the Messiah. It's out of nowhere. I guess they all are when you pull random, right? The Messiah. This is really cool. Like, what a fun start. And I mean, fun in a spiritual way, honestly. So here you are, the advocate, my Aquarians, inspires you to put compassion into action. Just keep it simple. Keep it simple. You know, your air signs, you can overthink everything and try and find a new revolutionary Uranian way of doing it, but just put compassion into action. Shadow attribute, embracing negative causes or committing to causes for personal gain, which is really hard not to. We all have shadow agendas. How do you know it's a shadow agenda? You don't want anybody to know about it, including yourself. So there's some big alchemy there, because advocates really do speak up for those who can't speak up for themselves. I know so many animal advocates, thousands of them, you know, not just in my personal life, but like in social media, my Facebook friends, or just like, it seems like every one of them. Dear friend, definitely, you know, shelters brings in, you know, all that kind of stuff. But then you're dealing with this judge archetype, which isn't just about being judgy. We all have a tendency towards being judgy. Oh dear, what is a weekend? Light attribute, balancing justice and compassion, managing the fair distribution of power. So what are we seeing already is a connection of compassion. So there's a real overtone, purple for brown. There's really this overarching message of compassion here. But now the shadow attribute, offering only destructive criticism, sucks, misusing business, legal, or criminal authority. So something to look at there with the other. But an advocate and a judge together, if they're both moving towards the gold, can do a lot of cool things, particularly the relationship itself is the Messiah. The Messiah is the savior, but this is an archetype. This is Jungian, so pull it out of the Bible for a hot second, right? The light attributes, serving humanity with humility. Well, doesn't that sort of make sense, right? But the shadow side, and here we go. Exaggerated belief that you are the only means through which a cause can succeed. What a trap, right? We're all in this together. Fifth dimensional unity consciousness, people. All right, it's a holographic thing. We're all one, but we're appearing to be separate, but we are each unique embodiments of the divine, right? So you pop that one in there. Do you see what's going on here? An advocate and a judge, but really they're about serving with humility, and humility isn't about being poor. Humility is knowing that you don't know, but you're willing to be shown. You don't know how it's going to help, but you're going to try and help anyway. You don't know what the answers are, which will really help you stay out of that place where you are the only means by which this relationship, this world, whatever it is that the two of you come together on, can be helped. So this feels like a good business partnership, but we'll see. My angels, please clarify this advocate, this Aquarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, and this us, me, them. Sorry. Me, them, us relationship for the remainder of September 2019. There you are. Okay, power. So not only are you an advocate, you're an advocate of, for, or with power. You know, what kind of power? Well, you know, as I look at the card, she ain't blowing a horn, but it's the words that she speaks, right? Like what's coming out her mouth, that angel. Yeah, what's coming out of her mouth is power. So power of the spoken word, but also remember that thing about giving voice to those who don't have voices, so that there's a power there. I'm feeling very throat chakra, very air sign, right? So my angel, please, the same thing for this judge in this Capricorn collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, please. In this relationship, what's going on with them for the remainder of September 2019? Well, great, ideas and inspiration. So this judge is getting like ideas. Are they judging it, or are they trying to balance the justice with the compassion in this? Well, is it compassionate? Now remember, the word inspiration doesn't mean that it's always coming from the divine, right? You can be inspired to key somebody's car when you're in envy, the deadly sin of the third eye, right? So you know, just keep that in mind. This judge might very well be weighing things out within their own lives, within their own process, but maybe within this relationship itself. But remember, advocate, You have a lot of power in this too. So my angels, please clarify this overall Aquarian Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign relationship for the remainder of September 2019 between this advocate and this judge. Healing. Brilliant, 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 brilliant. So that there is healing. The angels are saying this is healing. This is about healing because here you are, power. And I really cannot escape. Looks like she's blowing a horn, but she's not. She's sort of breathing out into creation, right? With ideas and inspiration. What a power couple, regardless of the form of the relationship, romantic, co-workers, friends, partners, family members. But overall, this relationship is about and in the process of healing. Really nice. Really, really, really nice. Glad to see that. Let's ask the Daughters of the Moon Tarot. Athena and Heracles. I have to get a totem for Heracles. I guess it's time to get one. You know, a lot of our desires at this point, because the 5D is so active, the unity consciousness, sometimes a lot of our desires are just intuition, right? And we'll be guided to it. It's just that we doubt it all so much, right? Gas brake, push, pull, push, pull. So I ask my gods, Athena and Heracles, the 12 labors of Heracles, which is the Greek version, the original of Hercules. They wanted me to tell you that in case you didn't know. Funny, though, that you have Hera in her name, considering their relationship. Maybe there's a little touch of that going on here, right? So please, my gods, one card in clarity for this Aquarian collective Sun and Rising Venus sign in this relationship with this judge for the remainder of September 2019. All right, well, here we are, conflict. Like, we need some to look at here. Well, what's going on for you that you are in conflict? Now, the Four of Flames, I know the Four of Wands saying, it's the 11-11 card. Well, that's what I kind of love about Daughters of the Moon Tarot, is her reinterpretation, that instead of making conflict the Five of Wands in this deck, Flames, we're looking at two archers facing each other, but only one dragon feeling the conflict. So that really does make sense. Again, this might not mean that the advocate and the judge are in conflict, because I think that would be in the third line for the us, but that you're in conflict about something. So let's keep going, finish building this slide, and then we'll tune into that. Oh, by the way, I'm going to start doing extended readings on Vimeo, because I've had a Vimeo account for over 3 years. I have Vimeo Pro, so I do Vimeo on demand. So the extendeds that I'm going to do, right, like I'm not even going to pause the recording. I'm going to say goodbye to this one and say hello to the extended one without even clicking off the button. Cutting them up in my video editor and putting them up. And believe me, I won't be exorbitant, right, depending on the length of the reading. I'll be fair, right? Live and let live, fairly take and fairly give, though I am not Wiccan. There are aspects of the Wiccan Read poetic version that I have adopted lifelong. That's one of them. Live and let live, fairly take, fairly give. Doesn't mean you always get it right. Doesn't mean everybody's got to like it. Tough kitty. Please, my gods, I just need them laugh. Please, my gods, one card for this other, for the them, in this Aquarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign for the remainder of September 2019. Well, you know, 9 of Pentacles, someone who's very much, God bless the child that's got his own or her own, that's got their own. Let's keep it gender neutral. 9 of Pentacles, full gourds, full breast, has everything they need, but is sitting alone, right? So if you're in conflict, the conflict might be that you're looking at them that they're just fine on their own. Now, I have to say, every Aquarian I've ever dated, and I've had my share of y'all. Blessed be, I love the Aquarians. One of my dearest friends I've known for over 20 years is an Aquarius, but we are just friends, but good friends, like loyal, right? They'd take a bullet for me, I'd take a bullet for him. So there might be the conflict there of really seeing that, no, they're fine without me. They don't need my help. They don't need my help. And that might be bringing you into that conflict that your power is building here towards something. But don't worry, they're, you know, if they're really balancing justice and compassion to bring this into balance with ideas and inspiration, at least It's a good thing that they're a 9 of Pentacles. They only need 1 pentacle to hit a 10, and they've got resources to draw upon. And I don't get that toxic independence here. I've got this place of, no, I'm good within myself, right? They can be very balanced. So let's look at, with this relationship with Messiah and healing, just touch the hem of their garment, see what happens. Yes, I'm a witch that knows scripture. I really could have been a comparative religion professor, but you know, I'd be overweight and alcoholic. Not that there's anything wrong with it if that's your life path, but look at me at 51, purple hair. Besides, academia, not my thing. I'm a teacher, not a professor. I'm a professional witch, though. So speaking of which, please, my gods, 1 card to clarify this Aquarius collective sun and rising Venus sign in the remainder of September 2019. What's going on in this relationship with this advocate and this judge? You know, 10 of Cups, ecstasy. So we just said that the judge with ideas and inspiration is just like 1 pentacle away from 10, but emotionally, this is ecstasy. This is your cups overflowing. It's not just happiness, it's joy. So there's great healing here and great capacity for emotional fulfillment for both people involved. You got to resolve your conflict, right? There you are in conflict. Do you understand that they're sitting pretty? They got what they need, at least physically, maybe not emotionally, but physically they're pretty on track to getting everything that they need, right? In terms of the element of earth, but this kind of overarching lovely Inanna's House of Heaven. But keep in mind, Inanna, go read the myth of Inanna and Ereshkigal. There's always shadow that has to be embraced, something that has to be alchemized from lead to gold, right, in order for that 10 of Cups to show up, right? That's never handed to anybody. That could be, and not because we need to earn it or be worthy of it. It's just we have to have the interior circuitry, the scaffolding within our nervous systems to be able to handle it. Otherwise, you go mad. You know, there's a difference between madness and insanity. Insanity is really psychological. Madness can be divine madness, which is also a brilliant Bette Midler album that I still listen to on occasion. Love her. I did. Hi, Bette. Thank you. Saving my life when I was a teenager. Because if she could get away with being a mermaid in a wheelchair singing them songs, I could do this. She's on Aquarius. I think she's a Leo. Anyway, my masters, please clarify now for us, if you would, if you please, would you please, for this advocate, this Aquarian advocate with power in conflict, please, 1 card to clarify for this Aquarian Sun and Rising Venus sign, where they are in this relationship for the remainder of September 2019. Well, communication, that might be what you're in. Oh, yeah. This is before text messages. This deck was made, I think. And if it was just to get 1 letter. That the conflict might be about communication. And boy, that really, really matches with what I see in this card. That the conflict is, do I or don't I? Do I speak up or do I pull back? Do I speak my truth, which is very powerful, but it might create more conflict? I get that. I'm in that myself right now with some people. So my guidance, and really I can only go with my gut. I can only go with my gut, my guidance, and my grace, which is to pray, send blessings. And if I'm scripted to reconnect or they're scripted to reconnect, by the way, it's not even in a romantic situation I'm talking about, well, blessed be, then that'll happen, and I'll be ready for it. Not that I'm preparing myself for it, but I will be prepared, right? That's surrender to the divine. Not that you don't do anything. It's just that you're like, all right, you show me. I'll do my best. Get me ready for whatever I have to do, and that's on the daily. Sometimes several times on the daily. My masters, please clarify this judge archetype then with ideas and inspiration with this 9 of Pentacles. The one, the other, the them in this Aquarian collective, Sun and Rising, Venus sign relationship for the remainder of September 2019. There we go. Oh, truth. All right. Well, you know, I got to say, I like this one. I like the other one here. Truth. Like they've got the key. They're willing to share it, and maybe that's the thing. Maybe that's the conflict. You don't want to know the truth. You don't want to know the truth. You want to know the truth, but you don't want to know the truth. There's the conflict, because you want to know the truth so that you can express your power and communicate and, you know, put your compassion into action. But at the same time, if it's not the truth that you want, and what are we like when we don't get what we want? I don't care what sign you are, but that's supposed to happen on the path. That's scripted stuff so that you learn, you heal, you grow, you evolve, and you fulfill your role in the divine plan. And we're not in control of the divine plan. Please, yes, there is a divine plan. Go watch Good Omens. Go watch Good Omens. Read the book. Actually, watch this TV series first on Amazon and then go read the book, because if you do it the other way around, although they did a really good job, you can't have every word in a book in a movie or a series. It doesn't work like that. Budgets. Blessed be Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman. So please, my Aquarians, please clarify. My angels, gods, masters, please, my masters, please clarify for this Aquarian relationship, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign for the overall. Oh, wow, you guys really don't want to shuffle. All right. Please, my masters, one card to clarify this Messiah healing. 10 of Cups. Aquarian relationship, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign from the collective. Please clarify with one card. Well, manipulation, but keep in mind, I don't see manipulation as wholly negative. I see it as neutral, although obviously someone is pulling the strings here. Might be a third party, might be an outside situation, but let's be clear. If someone's in pain and you give them healing, it's manipulation. Watching TV, you see children in cages, and you pray, may all children be blessed with freedom, love, health, safety, and families that love them for the well-being of all that I am now. And so it is. Prayer spell, call it what you want. That's manipulation. That's what we're here for. We're here to bless. Most of us. Okay, a third of the population. This first waivers are, you know, for those of us who just are too damn tired to do the picketing. You know, so it's just interesting. Here you are with communication, right? Maybe that's the conflict, and they've got the truth there, but there's some manipulation then going on. That really, there's some healing here with that Messiah thing, all about serving with humility, because the cups overflowing is worth it. But what is that manipulation about? Now, again, if this were a private reading, I would spend probably another hour making sure we got some detail on that. But for the Mo, this is a collective reading, so you're going to have to keep your eye out on that. But know that this healing, either the manipulation is being healed, or the manipulation is part of the healing, or, you know, you got to massage. They got to manipulate bone and muscle, right? That's their job. So it depends on the type of healing that's going on here. But with that Messiah, it's pretty heavy duty. That's like savior stuff. Lastly, cards down, Whispers of Love. And this will give us, I think, a little bit more of a look-see-dook-see as to the pattern or form of this relationship, because right now we're looking at the content of what's going on. So my collective pantheon of angels, gods, masters, and higher selves of all involved, please, one whisper of love for this Aquarian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign for the remainder of September 2019. You are limitless. Recognize this truth. You can do anything you choose to do. But no, if you're working with shadow, through shadow, right, trying to manipulate, yeah, you're in conflict right now, just referring to that manipulation card. You can try and override someone else's will, but with this judge archetype, with ideas and inspiration, with the truth and the Nine of Pentacles, I wouldn't bother. Bless, right? Communicate through love. But you are limitless. So, you know, isn't that just about that conflict? It's okay to be in conflict. We need conflict, inner conflict, outer conflict. Yeah, it sucks. But if you use it the right way and get that, it will show you where your limitations are so that you can surpass them. Worth it, always. But it's all about how long you're going to hold on to the grudge. Fixed air, just saying. For this judge archetype, please, my Aquarian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign relationship person that this is in this with them, please show me, show us what's going on with this other. Be authentic to who you are. Oh, honey, you ain't got a choice in that. You are asked to be real and true, pertaining to who you are and how you feel. But really, if this judge is working towards the gold, the light attribute, that they're going to balance it with justice and compassion. Fair distribution of, I didn't even see that, fair distribution of power, your top line message, Aquarius. So this is really good. We've really only got one womp womp here. Well, I mean, that conflict card is necessary conflict, and there may be some manipulation going on here, but really everything else here feels really good for y'all. So last card down, please. My collective pantheon of angels, gods, masters, higher selves of all involved. Oh, tingle. Please, last card down, clarify this Aquarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign relationship for the remainder of September 2019, because we've got a Messiah going on in this relationship, both of them. This relationship is like a Messiah with healing. 10 of Cups, ecstasy with manipulation. So please clarify with one card. Last card down. Demonstrate love. Find out what is important to the people you love and act on it. So I'm sorry there's not like the romance card or the true love card or something like that to really clarify this. But at this point, you know what this relationship is about if you're tuning in. Yes, divine mind, you can be processing information, but the nature of this with that 10 of Cups and to demonstrate love, go with your gut, go with your heart, meaning what does your heart tell you? What does your gut tell you? Because here you are, my Aquarian advocate, with great power, but power in conflict about communication. That really is to show you that essentially you are limitless. That go ahead, try telepathically, right? Try to communicate through the psychic airwaves. God, I hate that word psychic. Meaning of the psyche, communicate from the soul, communicate through prayer, use your power in that way. If there is a conflict of communication, not knowing what to say or believing that what you're going to say is going to make them explode. I have to be honest with you. This judge archetype with ideas and inspiration, they're open. Like, wouldn't surprise me if this was a Gemini or an Aquarius. Libras might, well, if there's a time lag here, they might be weighing out. Wouldn't surprise me if this was another air sign, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Uranus, whatever. I understand you're ruled by Uranus. I understand there's therapy for that. But, you know, this one, 9 of Pentacles, right? So stable within themselves, got what they need, they've got their own. And a lot of what they've got on is their truth. And how do we know that? They're being authentic to who they are. So like it or lump it, my aquas, they're being them. They're doing them. If you have a conflict over that, then maybe look at, why am I not being authentic to who I am? And part of being authentic is saying, yeah, I'm in conflict right now. I don't fucking know what to do, and it's okay. It's where I am on the journey. Because I got to tell you, the Messiah for an overall relationship, service with humility, right? Serving humanity with humility, but that neither one of you are the sole savior, the only means through which this relationship can succeed. No, it's both of you together, right? And so both of you can be healing this, and it's really can be a very joyful cup overflowing process, but you got to look at whether that manipulation is in the light or the shadow. Is one pulling the other's strings? Is society pulling your strings? Are you both being manipulated? Or is this about, no, we need to manipulate the way we're looking at things here so that we can demonstrate love, get the healing that this relationship provides, and experience that 10 of Cups ecstatic overflowing of our hearts and our emotions. But at the same time, know that usually where Inanna is involved, we are really looking at perhaps some embracing of shadow, some real alchemy from lead to gold, in order for you to have the infrastructure, the circuitry, the nervous system capable of withstanding that and not blowing up or blowing it. Yeah. So my Aquarians, I wish you the very, very best on your path in this relationship for the remainder of September 2019. But for now, reach out, like, subscribe, comment. I try and reply to every comment as they come in. So I really do wish you the very best and the very blessed. Use your power. But for now, my darlings, my aquas, my water bearers, hail. Farewell and blessed day.